Welcome back. I'm Laquanda.
And I'm Tiera.
And we're your
Entrepreneur Besties.
Alright, Besties, let's see why filming this episode we experienced technical difficulties. However, we wanted to release the video. So let me reintroduce our guest today. On this episode, we interviewed Rashon from Breathe With Me. She's a massage therapist, also a certified doula. Yes, that's so amazing, right? You would notice mid-clip, she's speaking about her education. Let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. Basically, Rashon went to school to be a physical therapist. She didn't know exactly what she wanted to do, but she did know she wanted to help people. But however, let Rashon tell her story.
So I was going to school for physical therapy, and I ended up taking a modalities class, and one of the modalities was massage. And probably like 2 weeks into that class, I was like, no, this is what I want to do. Like, this is it. And then some years went on. I finally ended up going to massage school, and my main massage instructor was a doula. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, like just talking to her, like I kind of like adopted her as my mentor.
Oh.
Like
she's like, you're gonna be my mentor.
Yeah, she didn't really know about it, but it was just like, I'm gonna come to you with all my questions. And so she was just talking about her journey, and I was just like, I feel like that's something that I've always kind of been interested in. Like even from like when I was a kid, like I always wanted to do something that had to do with like babies or like pregnant people or just something. And so
I feel like you have like really the soft touch and like such a calming spirit. So it's like very fitting.
I thank you. Thank you.
Very, very fitting.
But yeah, so that's my story.
So this is T. I didn't know you went to school for physical therapist. Yeah. You learn something new every day. And it definitely, we talk about that all the time, like how like certain things you have to start off doing one thing and then it'll align you with what your real purpose is. So that helps you to figure out like, okay, I ain't about to be a physical therapist, but I like this part of physical therapy.
Like I never even wanted to go into physical therapy, but that's like a story all in itself. It was just like a last minute decision. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a story all in its own though.
So do you feel like you are doing your purpose right now?
I do. Yes, I love what I do. I don't love it every day, all the time, but for the most part.
Which one? Because massage therapist or doula?
Massage. Okay. I love being a doula. Like I don't think I've ever had a bad moment being a doula, but massaging, I have some stories.
I'm sure it's very interesting. You come to a lot of people, but overall, you feel like it's fulfilling and. Yeah. You actually get to provide a service that is, helps other people.
Yeah. And I think that's like my biggest thing. Like I've just always wanted to help people in some way, shape, or form. Like every career path that I thought I ever wanted was in some way helping somebody.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, so Rashon, let's talk about because this, like I said, this segment is all about self-care and providing self-care. How do you do self-care for yourself?
I spend a lot of time by myself. I will go to the beach a lot. I meditate. I started meditating maybe like a year ago. That is amazing. If y'all don't meditate, y'all should. It's great. Like once you finally like learn how to just like
quiet your mind.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Oh, I can't get into it right now.
He said, let's do it right now.
Maybe we can go on the beach and do it one day.
I would love that.
Okay.
I would love that, honestly. But yes, I started meditating. I do get massages, not as often as I should, but I do.
What have helped you the most? Meditating or massages? What self-care?
Probably meditating because my mental is...
Hey, besties.
We're back again.
Our mic died mid-video, you guys. I'm so sad because...
Too sad.
Rashon, actually, that's her first time vlogging. She got comfortable and she was dropping gems. And
I asked her some really good questions and she gave some really good feedback. And I was sad that you can't hear from her, but we have to share. We have to talk about what we discussed with her. So we talked about burnout with being an entrepreneur and trying to be a one-man band.
Exactly.
Because that's what it all boils down to. Like, one person running around doing all these things. Like, you're the content creator, you're the marketing team, you are the web designer.
You wear so many hats.
You are the creative director.
Mm-hmm.
You have to come up with new spicy ideas to keep people intrigued with your business. And it's like, how do you take care of yourself and avoid burnout? So that was the question.
So I feel like burnout is going to happen. Let's be realistic.
It's inevitable.
Yeah, because it's a new journey. It's something new. You don't really... You can plan.
And we always try to plan.
But it's going to happen because you're not going to realize what all it takes. So you're not going to be able to allocate the proper time, or you're not going to get the proper rest. So it's going to happen. I feel like burnout constantly happens.
And it's been also like with having something new. So like, I feel like more first-time entrepreneurs are the ones that actually experience the burnout, because you don't know and you just on go and you feel like you're on fire.
Yeah.
And the ideas is flowing and you're like, I just started my business, I can't take a break. Like, I gotta do all these things, I gotta get this stuff done because people are showing up, people are showing interest, and you get excited and you want to keep going. And it's like, no, you have to learn to pace yourself. That's what I've learned. You have to learn to pace yourself, and when you learn to pace yourself, you'll be able to spread it out, and you also will be more successful in that, because then you're not burned out, and you know you have a game plan, and you have a structure, and that's all comes in like trial and error, because you gotta kind of fail to then come back.
That's such an amazing tip. That's why I was looking at you. I was like, pace yourself, because I don't even think...
I'm talking to myself because...
She's definitely talking to herself, but I had the same feeling. Like, everything Tiera just said, that's how I be feeling. Like, I gotta take this pop-up shop, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta do that. I don't want to slow down, but if you really think
I'm on fire right now. Like, everything, the momentum is there. So you feel like you gotta go.
In the beginning, I took every opportunity. I was doing a pop-up shop. In July, I did a pop-up shop.
In a hot heat.
In
Florida.
I was like, I'm done. I was wore out. And not only that, that's when I realized, okay, I'm only going to do pop-up shops between this month and this month, because July is my cutoff day. July and August, too hot. I'll be inside. But that is so true what you said. Pace yourself. But that's the power of having a mentor. Because if you had a mentor... No, we didn't know that.
That was one thing Rashon talked about, having a mentor. Yeah. And it's like... I think I have virtual mentors. Like I said,
what do you mean? Who
I idolize in their business, how they run their business, things that they do to keep their business afloat. So I am like virtually watching them, virtually inspired, virtually close to their fire, you know, to be inspired to keep going, because I see what they've went through, because they're vulnerable, they're sharing their ups and downs, their pitfalls, all the things that's happening. But I don't have a one-to-one mentor. And I think the reason being is that if I'm being honest, and being a new entrepreneur, you always worry about money. Do I have the money to pay for this? Do I have the money to pay for that? Because it's so expensive. And a lot of times, a lot of us entrepreneurs are funding our business ourselves. So when you think about investing, even though you would like to invest in a mentor, you just think about, what is that going to cost me?
But I don't have a mentor. I never had it. I always wanted to. But I think mentorship could come in different ways. Yeah. Like, you can go to networking events, and then you can be like, just pick somebody's brain. You don't have to pay for it. And if they're nice, you can invite them to a coffee. You know what I mean? So eventually, of course, you want to like maybe pay for mentorship.
And have that one-to-one.
But in the beginning, honestly... If somebody be like, hey, I want to go to coffee, I would go to coffee with anybody. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, I would. You just gotta...
Because it's showing me that you are showing up for your business. And I'm the same way. If somebody came and approached me and asked me, well, hey, I want to pick your brain, I would be open to it.
So, even if somebody say no, that's fine. But just try, because there's power in that. Because I didn't have that. I didn't even think about pace myself. All I knew about is that I got to get it. I got to go.
You got to get it. You got to go.
Yeah, but...
And you're hungry.
Yes.
You're so eager. You're hungry. But at the same time, like I said, you have to learn to pace yourself. And what they say, the saying always goes, slow and steady win the race. So if you're like, oh, I got to sprint right now, and you sprint, baby, after that sprint, you done.
Yeah.
You didn't got took out because now you didn't invested too much energy in one span of time. And it's a journey. That's why we say, come join us on our entrepreneur journey, because it's a journey. It's something that we're working at, and it's going to be a continuous thing. It's not going to all happen right now, but over time, we're going to build up to something beautiful.
So you just answered my question, and I guess probably a lot of other people's question. Pace yourself to avoid burnout. For me personally, I would say to pace yourself, because I always kept thinking to myself, how do you avoid burnout? Because I just feel like you never can avoid burnout.
And it's really not. And I think that, like, through time, trial and error, and wisdom, you learn that, like, how is people doing it? And if you watching all these entrepreneurs, they definitely take breaks, baby. So it's okay. Take a break. Take your break. Take your time. Pour into yourself, because you can't be pouring from an empty cup. And do some self-care. We talked about this already. Like, what makes you feel rejuvenated?
I agree, y'all, but all that stuff go out the window when you in the grind mode. I'm just being honest. It go out the window, but it's balanced, right? So you just come back to it and you try to do it as much as you can. But
I feel like balance is also something that is like, the term is thrown out there so much, like, oh, you have to balance, but sometimes balance looks like me taking a damn break.
Yeah.
And that's how you avoid burnout.
There
so
you go.
In closing, that was my tip of the day.
Pace yourself and don't give yourself grace. It's okay.
Grace. That's the one. That's
give yourself
the one.
Grace.
Paired with pacing yourself, you have to give yourself grace, because sometimes we feel like we're not doing enough, or that we should be doing more. But at the end of the day, we're not a robot. I'm a human being, and I'm a mama, and I'm a wife, and I gotta show up for everybody else too. So in order for me to do all these things, I have to do it gradually.
There you go. That's how you avoid burnout.
Yes.
I really feel like I got my question today, because I've been thinking about that for a minute. Like, when you at the high, how do you avoid burnout?
It's really easy. Asked me that question earlier. So
I did.
That's why you keep looking at me like that.
I did, and then prior, when we recorded last month, we talked about this off camera, and I'm like, how do I avoid it? I feel it coming, but I just don't know what to do.
And when you feel it coming, do it, because this is something I'm speaking from my own experience. This is something I had to do for myself, because I was in that. Like, I gotta go. We just started this podcast. Yeah. I'm trying to get these brand deals. I'm trying to hit my goal of so many subscribers, so many followers. I'm in the peak. Everybody's getting interested. They showing up. I can't take a break right now.
Don't want to.
Didn't want to take a break.
No.
But that was my own thing. And then sometimes you're forced to. And that's what happened to me. So I learned that I had to pace myself.
I love that, Tiera. Well, that's going to close out that video. Rashon was such a great guest, and we learned a few things from her.
For sure. So we're going to share what we had, but we had to enter some new snippets, which is why we look different.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time,
besties,
bye.